Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Three Wise Guys podcast. It's your chief Arya. It's your chief Delapo. It's your chief Luke. Welcome back, Delapo. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back.
Did you get a chance to listen to the last episode?
No.
Okay, that's fine. You can have fun.
It's good. Good to hear.
we were saying such good things about you. We were just like, man, every day I wake up, I feel demotivated, but then I remember I have to live up to the greatness of the person who sleeps next door to me. You know, it's just you're such an aspiring individual, which is why we dedicated the full episode to you.
I wish you guys would kiss my ass when I was here. You guys, it's one of those, not celebrated when they're alive and then fucking martyred when they're dead.
I was gonna say, because that's how life works, though.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
how
Like,
life works when you have
that's
shitty friends. That's what that is. So,
Everybody has shitty
crowd.
friends.
You're pulling men get their first flowers when they're dead.
yeah, that's
thing
what
now?
it is.
Okay.
That's what it is. But no, yeah, it's good to be back. I saw the topic and I was like, oh, that's nice. Like liquidity and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's
Right.
pretty good.
It was this tweet that we found. Okay, so the whole reason I brought it, and I'm not going to talk about this too long, I promise. But the whole reason why I brought it up is I was like, oh, this is really interesting. They found this from like a Reddit thread, whatever it was. The person who tweeted, the community they found it on Reddit was for this place called Hampton Club.
Uh-huh.
It's like a founder network. Based out of Toronto, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So obviously, a
Wait.
little skewed. Yeah.
Out of Toronto?
I feel like I keep seeing their ads saying like Toronto, we have like 2 more spots, whatever it
okay.
is. I'm not sure. It could be based out of New York as well.
Pretty cool. Yeah, sounds like a New York thing. I think Torontonians are cool enough
I feel
to.
like there's so many of these founder networks in every single city. But anyway, and then that made me realize the data might be a little bit skewed, but not bad. Not bad.
Oh
overall.
my God. There is a Hampton Club in Toronto, but no, I don't think it's. I hope it's not the same thing. No, it's a different thing because their website's terrible.
Is it green?
No.
it's not. It's terrible. So it's
Because the
probably
Hampton
something
Club I'm
different.
talking about, their whole color scheme is green.
I thought like the Hampton Club would be like in the Hamptons.
I feel like it's named that because of the
Oh,
Hamptons,
like
but like
Aspire.
it could be anyway. I'm not sure, but whatever. We don't have
They
to
should
talk
name
about
it
that.
like the Muskoka Club. What are they doing, man?
You think
Is it
Muskoka
based
is
out of
like
Toronto?
the?
They're like, I don't know. We don't know.
No, I'm saying like instead of like if
That-
you're a Toronto like club, why name it the Hamptons? Like
Well-
based off of New York, name it like Muskoka.
Well, I don't know.
You
if,
should, yeah. I 100% agree with that. Or
was-
the PEI club.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know if the Muskokas are like where the rich stay. Like apparently, like there's some like other cottage like countries where like wealthier people go to, but
What are their names?
like apparently Tobermory is like one of those spots.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My understanding is a lot of rich people live in Ancaster.
That's in Hamilton, yeah.
Like outside of Hamilton, right? Like
It's
or-
yeah.
that's like the nice part of Hamilton, from what I
Yeah, but
understand.
like that's not cottage country.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. But Hamptons is the Hamptons cottage country?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think there are very many people. Well, I guess there are. But I was gonna say I don't think there are very many people that live in the Hamptons year
It's
round.
upstate New York.
Oh,
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
people have like second homes there.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I
like
mean?
cottage countries.
Yeah.
They just don't call it
Yep.
cottages in the U.S. It's like summer home, I think.
Yeah, it's
something
called
like that.
it's a summer home.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
crazy thing to like say, you know.
Yeah, but that is what all these Canadians have. It is a summer home, technically.
Yeah. Muskoka is super popular. I remember like I never had a cottage growing up, but I think later on into my high school years we tried to like rent out, like cottages, like Airbnb type stuff for like family trips, and we would always try to go to Muskoka. It's just sometimes it's really expensive.
No, I was gonna say if
We'd be that family at that like shared cottage, you know. What I mean? You go and there's like all those shared houses, the shared amenities and everything.
Oh yeah.
And so we never got a private house or anything like that.
No, yeah, that
but-
makes sense. I was gonna say if
So nice.
Muskoka is like basic, I think it's like upper middle class basic, like
For
super
sure.
Like I don't think like you're like middle earning like 100K or 200. I feel like actually we should figure out like what does your average income need to be for you to own a second home?
I think the answer is it depends on when you bought your first home and your second home. You know what I mean? Like they're probably like on our salary, like let's say like our salaries today, if we were to make that in like the early to mid 2000s, like we could probably own a cottage.
That's also true. I mean, I feel like a lot of people bought their cottages like way back
Yeah.
in the day.
Or
Yeah, but, like,
if you transform
still
their
there's people
salaries
buying
back
it
to
today.
I feel like to have enough money for a second home, like regardless of the era, like you got to be
Dude,
making more than we're making.
my parents bought their property in Scarborough 2000, and I think just before the financial crisis. It was like a 2005-ish time.
Mm.
And so it was already a little bit up. It crashed down a little bit more and then it went back again. But I think it was like 360K, and now it's like easily like 1.2 mil.
Mm.
Damn. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like the and then imagine like back then, like the cottage, because remember our friend in university, I think her cottage was what, like just over 6 figures. I thought it was way more. Remember, like we were looking this up. We thought it'd be like $1 million at least.
No. I know who he's talking about.
Yeah, we thought it'd be $1 million, but like I think it was a
The
couple
Cotty that we
hundred.
all went to, dude.
Yeah, early
first one.
couple 100,000.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Higgins. Yeah. So like
on the island.
Yeah, that one was like a couple 100,000. I think at the time we looked it up, so you can imagine in the early like 2000s, it's probably like less than 100,000.
It was only a couple 100,000 we looked at. Wow.
Because
why
we
can't I remember this?
thought it'd be like
Yeah, I think it was like 400. Or
yeah.
I mean, the land though must be more than that, right? Like to buy the island itself, because I think you need to pay for that.
No,
and then
the
build
whole
it.
thing.
The whole thing.
I think
it
they were
was the whole
explaining
thing,
it's kind of a negative because like, you know, you have to
Yeah, it's super hard
pay
to
for
do
the
anything
water flow
on the
through,
island
yeah.
as well. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, and like you need to own like your own septic tank and
Yeah.
Yep.
like it's like you can't.
You're bringing water
Yeah.
coolers.
Yeah, you got to do kind of like your own thing. But yeah. Oh, okay. Look at that. So, well, GPT, and we all know how accurate that is. Says 187K per year.
Okay. In Canada?
Yeah, in
From
Canada.
Muskoka?
Yeah.
Well,
To have a second home.
Yeah, second home in Muskoka.
Assuming you have how much equity in your first home?
Well, I didn't say like. Let's see.
Does it
It
make
says.
sense?
let's not get
it says-
into
We don't have
this.
to get
Let's
into
not
the
get
weeds.
into this
Yeah,
nuance.
but like
It's
the price
fine.
is like
Yeah.
an 800K home in
Yeah.
Muskoka, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
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 That makes sense. Because not all of those homes are like $5 million. You know
No,
what I mean?
no.
Like, there's a lot of reasonably priced stuff there.
I think the average was like like a waterfront home is around 980. So like let's just say $1 million for a waterfront, and
Right.
non-waterfront is 600.
Okay.
just because there's absolutely nothing to do out there.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
what I
mean?
was thinking.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
out
like
there.
yeah, there's nothing else except like like a home you can
like
spend a couple
pure
weekends.
leisure. Like
Yeah.
it's like the equivalent of like buying like it's like a hobby almost. Like it's like you have to have that much money to just waste.
Sure.
Like
Waste.
realistically, like you know what I mean? Like you're like yeah. Anyway, I won't get too much into it. Before I get into things today, one thing I was thinking about is like this is a perfect depiction of our jobs. Like for those who are watching us on YouTube, you know, Delapo and I came home. I think like you came home just after me, but I came home like maybe like 30 minutes, an hour ago, and then you came home right after me. Neither of us changed. Aria was home all day. I think like you showered,
Yep.
you changed, and it's like, you know, Delapo, super serious workplace, coming home in dress pants and a dress shirt. Right?
I don't usually dress this way. I had like a work event where I was supposed to meet clients and shit.
That's the only reason D goes to the office.
You dress like pretty professionally when you go to the office.
Yeah,
like, you know
like-
what I mean? Like it's professional. Like
Like, I'll
not
wear
dress
pants.
shoes every time, but
And
like,
there's a rumor that one of the bosses was like, "Don't people here wear suits? Who is this guy?" Anyways, but yeah, no, this is the most formal. Actually, I've worn dress shoes once, and like Arya said, it was when I was going to go see a client. But yeah, the only time I'm going to like wear a button down or like dress shoes or anything or business casual is if I'm meeting.
fair. But you know, like you work at a very professional place, and I think like funny
Yeah.
enough, maybe it was accidental, but like it's like it just matched like 1-to-1, and then like
But I've seen you wear blazers as well. When you go meet
Yeah.
clients, you do the exact same thing too.
yeah. But all this to say, like I think
Luke
it's
does a
just
more
so,
like funky hipster style of
No, he
formal.
wears like blazers with like dress shoe loafers with like dress pants.
yeah.
Like,
It's
but that's when
I see a vest in there.
But that's when I'm seeing like an insurance company or like a lawyer, you know what I mean? Like if I'm seeing like, you know, like still professional but not that professional, like I might just go into like a polo or something like
Okay.
that. But
masks of marketing.
yeah, it is funny because like Yeah, like sometimes I say it's like our colleagues when we're having like our holiday party. I'm like, can you imagine like that one client that only sees like you or me in this setting, like seeing us like right now, like
Yeah.
they would be like, what the fuck, fire these guys immediately.
You know,
And then I think like Aria, you know, like middle, like you work at a tech company, so I think like a balance. Well, D works at a tech company as well, but I think consumer tech is always like a different
I'm
feel.
fintech. It's like
Yeah.
it's very like it's very very casual.
Right. So like,
Very
you know, I
casual.
feel like this would be an outfit that wouldn't be too crazy if you wore it to the office, right?
I worn crazier than this to the office.
So I think that's interesting, right? Like, I don't know, there was like a set uniform for our parents or whatever, but it's kind of like,
I guess kind of, and this is me derailing, but fuck it. What is my podcast? I do what I want. What was like you guys' first impression when like you saw like that like boss that's a little tight in the ass, like drunk, or like like at that Christmas party or whatever. Like, because I don't like I remember the first time I saw like one of my bosses like get down, I was like, whoa, like you are such a like you're a writer, and like it's like, how do you go from riding my ass all day all night to just being this whole new person when you're drunk? I think I might have asked this question before, but what was like your first reaction? I'm sure all of you have seen like someone pretty senior in your office, like plastered, blasted, whatever, just drunk, whatever.
Blasted.
Yeah.
do you,
Plastered.
I guess like, do you, before I go, do you feel like you were like, was it like surprising in the sense of like, cause like sometimes I'm like, if a guy's very intense at work, and then he's like very like a party animal, I kind of align those two things because it's like, oh, you're intense, like a work hard, play hard type of vibe. You know what I mean? So like, were you like surprised? In
I
that
guess I
sense,
didn't
or-
think work hard, play hard. I just was finding it to be like, I was more like, if you're like this, why are you like that? Like, like, why are you like, if you can chill so hard, like, do you get what I mean? Why, like, not like I need them to chill. Why are you just like unreasonable, in my opinion, whatever my opinion is, like in general. And then there's the people that are like pretty chill, and then like they party like pretty hard as well too. Like like I don't know. That was because I don't know that being a hard ass means you get better results, right? Like I don't think that that's the correlation. Maybe there is, but I just don't know. Anyways, that's my experience. So that's kind of how I felt. But curious how you guys felt.
Like I work at a marketing agency, so I feel like my answer is like a lot boringer, but like it wasn't a big surprise because most of my bosses were like pretty chill. You know what I mean? I will say like one of the directors that I like at my company, like he is very like sociable and like a very like outgoing person. Like fuck, I was but then it makes sense because I was gonna be like, you always say this person's like Aria. And then I was surprised that when I like hung out with this person in a party setting, he didn't really drink like that. And I was like, oh wait, it's Aria. You know what I mean? So maybe it's not surprising. Like maybe it's just a 1-to-1.
I'm a great judge of character, if you didn't know.
Yeah, like I'm like, okay, you know what? That does connect.
I also know Mississauga man's like really well.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's suburb man.
Yeah,
Suburb
no,
man.
Mississauga mans
Mississauga
that live in
specifically.
Toronto and want to be Toronto mans. I'm sure.
You live in Toronto. You don't want to be a Toronto man. You are a Toronto man.
Yeah. I know what you mean. You know what? My girlfriend said I actually rag on you too much during the podcast, so I'm gonna chill out. Yeah.
I like your girlfriend. She always has my back.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say I did have one boss where I like they presented very very prim and proper. I barely spoke to this person, and at the party I think I went out and they asked me for a dart, and I was like, okay.
I was like, you smoke darts? Okay.
Yeah, that one surprised me, but like everyone else, I was like, yeah.
How about you?
So I feel like I might have an answer similar to Luke. You guys know the stories.
I think me and you are laughing at the same reason.
Yeah, we experienced the stories.
You guys have been there specifically for like many of these stories.
Someone higher.
So that's
Sure,
the thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I haven't quite been able to like I haven't seen. Okay, well,
Not even at kickoffs?
Yes. So here's
okay.
the thing. I'm not at liberty to disclose what happens at kickoff.
Okay, Mr.
No one's
Fintech.
asking you to disclose anything. Just give a personal anecdote.
Yeah, I can give a personal anecdote. So we had a very, and this is not at the company I work for right now, but we had a very very senior person At one point throughout the night, so there was this club that we ended up going into, and it was one of those places where you can't bring your phone in. So they lock up your phone in like with those pouches, and they put it in a locker for you. You can't record anything. You're not allowed to.
Okay.
I don't know if it was for privacy reasons or if they just were the vibe of, you need to stay off your phone, you need to enjoy it, whatever it is. The night got kind of crazy. Company, basically the entire place was just the company. It was a speakeasy that no longer was a speakeasy as a result, right?
Yeah.
This incredibly senior person from the company stood up on the speakers and started like pouring tequila in everybody's mouth.
That's always fun. That's always
spitting
fun.
tequila in everybody's face after. Oh yeah, it was. So yeah, can't disclose anything. It was a different company. But what I was gonna say from before was, while like Luke, most of my managers have been chill. You guys know, one of my previous managers, who's not my manager anymore. When I first started working at the company with him, he was hosting work sessions from his place, and then we would party at his place afterwards too. And this was brand new to me. I had never been in a space where that was happening. And I remember it was like every Friday, like clockwork, we would drink heavily at his place. We would play games. We would get loud. And I was still living in Mississauga at the time, so every Friday was like a couch night for me there. And I brought Luke for a couple of those nights. I brought you for one of those nights too. I'm pretty sure something. I have a video
like
of Luke
birthday.
actually passed out on his bed next to someone who's now his girlfriend. Nothing crazy was happening, but you were both just passed out drunk, just like lying next to all the jackets that were put on the bed. And that's like the kind of night that we would have every Friday. And that was like clockwork. It was kind of insane. I had never seen anything like that before.
I guess my follow-up question is, what was the management styles for those two people as well? Like, were they hard asses?
Not hard asses.
Or were they? Okay, so they were like chill, and so it was kind of like
they were definitely chill, but they were hard workers. You know what I mean?
Not hard workers. It's like like I'm just talking about the way they relate to people, like when they're sober and in a work context versus the way
they never had a stick up their ass.
Including the one that was on the table pouring tequila into people's mouths.
No, that one, to be honest, like I don't know that person that well.
Okay.
So I can't speak, but incredibly senior. So yeah, like pretty much
probably
you can assume that they're pretty tough.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, sorry I derailed. But
that was a good question.
I was gonna say, even actually follow up on that. Then, have you ever had like a circumstance where a junior member kind of like went too crazy and like?
Oh yeah.
And did they like suffer consequences at work for it or anything? Because I have like one story about that, but you seem to have a lot.
Oh yeah, and this girl got fired like 3 weeks later too. But you can go first if you want.
Mine wasn't that.
Some water for myself.
Mine wasn't that wild. Like he didn't get let go for this or anything. He did end up getting let go for a different reason. He was just not good at his job. But it was like I think like one of the first 2 weeks that he got hired. Like we were just like let's
that
go
early.
Well, like, okay, honestly, this is probably not that crazy. I feel like I'm setting myself up for failure. We were like, let's go out like for lunch, and like I'm gonna introduce you to the client, and then the client orders a Arnold Palmer. Okay. And by the way, the only reason I know what this drink is because I love the Arizona Arnold Palmer, right? So it's half lemonade, half iced tea, right? So this client orders up,
and it can be made alcoholically as well.
Okay. Okay. Maybe then it wasn't that crazy, but like they got the non-alcoholic version.
Okay.
And on the menu, I guess, they just asked for Arnold Palmer and they made them the unalcoholic version. And then when it came to, and then, we were just, I was like, I'll just have water, blah, blah. And then when it came to this guy, he was like, I'll get a double gin and tonic. It's like 11:30.
I was gonna say,
11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, on like a Tuesday.
He's watched too much Mad Men.
Dude, I look across to my paid manager that's at the meeting and I'm like,
who is this guy?
We both look at each other like, what is going on? And afterwards he felt really bad about it because afterwards I was like saying to him, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna tell HR what happened, but like dude, like, don't order an alcoholic beverage at a lunch with a client if no one else is drinking and you have to go back to work. Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, that was a field trip for him. That was a field trip day for him. He had no intention of going back to work. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean,
That's
just
pretty
like,
wild.
it was just like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like, not the audacity, but it was just like so surprising. I was like, dude, you're like the most junior member. You're very new, and you're just like double. And also the other thing was the double. Like I was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like even if you go out, you're not like just automatically default to a double. But anyway,
when you're going double, you're optimizing for the rest of the evening. Is really what you're doing, right?
See, I don't know.
You're like, I need to get a good start right now.
Yeah.
So I'm not like grazing for the rest of the night.
I don't know who the kid was, but I'm gonna guess it was the Nepo baby.
We don't have to identify.
no,
anybody.
that person was at the company before I joined. It was it was a different person.
So the
but, like,
person wasn't a Nepo baby. Okay,
No.
that's Nepo baby behavior. Okay. All good. What was yours?
So we had hired like 2 new BDAs several years ago, and I think they wanted to keep both of them. So she also got fired, right? But not entirely just because of what happened that night. I think she was bad at her job, obviously. That did not really help her case as far as building good rapport. You know what I mean? Because it was pretty much right after she had gotten hired. Right? She was a new hire, and we did another party at this manager that I was just telling you at their place, and we had gone the new team members together. We were entering a different phase in our lives at that point. I think things were starting to calm down a little bit, but still, have some wild nights, have some good nights, whatever it is. So everybody pulls up to this party. At this point, I think I was already living downtown. I'm not sure, but she lived in say like Waterloo or something like that with her boyfriend. Yeah. So she drove.
Yeah, like Kitchener Waterloo.
Yeah, Kitchener Waterloo.
She
She drove downtown Toronto to like come to a party. And honestly, like I no one knew that she drove until like later in the night, right?
Did you guys know she lived in Waterloo?
We knew she lived in Waterloo, but the thing is, she came with her boyfriend, right? And honestly, and I don't want to be too disrespectful here, right? But like, it is a little like both of them looked a little raggedy. You know what I mean? Like they weren't really like. Everyone else was like, prim proper, looked like they just showered.
I think I was
like
actually.
You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure I was there that night.
You were there that night.
And I remember I was talking with the boyfriend a lot, and then I was just like, I don't get why this guy's saying the things he's saying.
It's all some weird shit. You know what I mean? Anyways, they both he was supposed to, I think, be her DD. That's why he was there to like drive back. He got way more belligerently fucked than she did, and she was also belligerently fucked. But still, at the end of the night, they drove home. They drove all that way, and I only heard about that after. I think we left before they left.
We left like way before.
Yeah, so like I didn't really know, but I heard it the next day, and then obviously like that left a sour note in people's like first impressions last, I guess. But yeah, that was like one of the first times we had gone out. It was just wild to me because. Plus ones are fine and everything like that, but like I think if you're a plus one, you got to hold yourself in control a little bit.
Yeah.
As a plus one, you can't be the most drunk person at the party. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not.
I don't have
It depends on your intention, bro.
I guess it depends on your intention. If you're the plus one, because someone else has
So
to answer
what's
for
Luke's
you.
excuse for being just super drunk at your office party, asleep on someone's bed?
He was never the one who was the most drunk though.
Surprisingly.
I'm not gonna name them, but I can name 3 other people at any given moment that were more drunk than Luke.
Okay, I'm just saying, I get you. I don't know that I care.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. I think especially for a work event, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe if you're a plus one at a work, and it's not a work event because we're drinking, we're partying.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's coworkers.
Yep.
Your manager and your skip level are there. You know what I mean? Like maybe just inform your plus one. Like, hey, take it easy. You know what I mean? Just take it easy. You don't have to drink everything.
This exact same thing applies. Luke was so drunk he was asleep on your manager's bed. Like where was the take it easy?
But see, the difference is the difference in the two situations was that wasn't the first time I partied with them.
It wasn't.
I had
it wasn't the first. Yeah. He's absolutely
that
right.
was his first.
I had built up my reputation with this group already.
He's friends with them.
In fact, the reason I was on the bed is because of his manager.
Okay.
So that is the difference. In
Yeah,
the two
no, like,
situations.
There was a personal relationship ongoing
Again,
with Luke
like,
and the others.
I was asking for the nuance. I'm just more thinking about this +1 like rule. I'm like, wait, like I didn't know +1s had like a drink limit, but I get why you're saying that because it doesn't leave the best first impression.
Yeah.
You have to answer for your +1 too,
and I know
right?
Luke. Like, you know what I mean? Luke is a very nice guy. I don't think the first time, like,
Luke makes great first impressions.
Yeah, he does.
Luke, I gotta give it to you.
No, that's why I'm like, yeah, like I'm not.
It's when you're comfortable with people that it really gets a little sticky. You know?
No, don't cast aspersions. Luke is good. Like, it was just fun. I was poking, but like I was just like, dude, like. You know, you just told a story 5 seconds earlier about your +1. And
Luke's at the same party with
he's at the same party with this person.
I'm pretty sure that was the night that you.
No,
that was a different
that
night.
was like
That
a
was
colder night. I remember because I remember it distinctly because when I was laying down on the bed, I was like, "Oh, this is like Canada Goose."
Luke has definitely done some crazy shit though in front of my coworkers. I remember I'm gonna say this. It's not that bad, but like I'm gonna say this piece. We went to my roti place after like heavy drinking one night. And Luke was like beyond recognition.
Mario was so pissed at me.
I was so pissed at Luke. I had a vape pen, right? We're waiting outside, we're waiting for our food, right? And I was like, Luke, you want to hit the... He's already like drunk. I'm like, Luke, you want to hit the vape pen? You know what I mean? He was like, no, fuck you. Takes the pen and he whips it. Like he just throws it as far as he can. Luke went through a phase where he threw shit when he was drunk. And he knows it too. He knows it.
I remember this night because this is like Aria.
I love how he's dying.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
With me, it was like the equivalent of the Adam, get in the Uber.
Oh my goodness.
It was like that intensity, but with me. Because I think I remember that night when we're going in, I was like, oh, I want this, like, I was describing this fucking like super long thing I wanted to Aria. And I was like, all right, order it for me. And I went outside and I was just like, it was, for lack of better terms, it was a roundabout. It was like one side was my roti place. The other side is just like a center console. It's just like a decorations thing.
Yeah, for the Torontonians, this is the roti place on Queens Quay.
This is Queens Quay
downtown.
Young. This is where Young starts.
Yeah, I'm just like this is my memory, but I'm just like stomping between the sidewalk and the center and the back. And like at one point there was a car that came and he was honking at me and I was like, fuck you.
No,
dude, honestly, I probably should have been shot that day.
Thank God you weren't.
End of the night, we were drunk, hungry. I was tired. I was still living in Mississauga. We were going back to my place. Yeah, because this is when Luke every Saturday would come over to my place and we would just we would like do stuff. And okay,
that sounded so questionable.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
we would shoot content. I don't know.
That did not make it better. Actually,
no, it did not.
We would make music.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like at every company I've been, I've always been like, like the lowest. So like, I don't know that there's anyone that's been lower than me. I guess like except now, but like whatever. But it was me and like I guess my coworker, my colleague, but he was hired after me. So I don't know, does that make him the last man? And we went out with my boss and like, I don't know, like I'm like, I won't say like I'm a social drinker. So like
you can hold your liquor.
Yeah. Like when I feel like as long as like, if I'm with you guys, yes, you guys have probably seen me. You've seen me wasted like on a couch before or something like that.
I've seen you beyond recognition for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
When?
Many times. You want me to
list
one
of them? Would be like
I want to know
the one of them.
Yeah, I've thrown up a couple times.
One that immediately comes to mind is when we went to Coddy with Terry and Connor.
Right. Yeah, that's the one that came to mind because I was passed out on the couch and there's pictures of you guys like fucking defacing me.
I cuddled you.
Yeah, like just doing like people just molesting me. Taking picture. I'm joking. It's not molesting, but yeah, that's one. You're right. There's also the New Year's night, or was it New Year's?
It was a New Year's night, and there was at that same location. There was like another night where you got belligerently drunk too, and I think you got belligerently drunk during Halloween as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Halloween. Oh,
yeah, the one on the boat.
Yeah, I was.
The one on the boat.
No.
Yeah.
That one, unfortunately,
I think all of us. I was belligerent. You were
I
belligerent.
left. No. I
unfortunately,
left you guys.
I was
That was
not
not a
as
great night for you.
not as drunk as I needed to be.
Yeah, like that. I left you guys. Don't you remember?
Yeah.
What do you mean you left us?
I left you
How?
because I went upstairs with someone.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but you were still drunk.
I don't know. We didn't
I don't
chill
know.
that
I
night.
can't
We
confirm.
didn't.
We saw each other at the end of the night.
I
You had to get off the boat
cannot
together.
confirm.
Okay,
Anyways.
like every other one.
Steve concert where you had to throw up outside the side of the Uber.
Was that Billy? Yeah, that was.
That night we were. That was a bad night. For
That was about. Actually, yeah. You know what?
Multiple occasions.
Actually, yeah. You know, now that you say, I think Moses, the key to me being belligerently drunk, I will puke wherever, like wherever. I won't puke on myself, but I'll puke wherever. Okay. This is back to the originals. Socially, I won't do that. Like, like with my friends, I will.
Also, the trend seems to be that me and Ario are present every single time you're belligerently drunk.
That is also very true. I think the only time when you guys weren't was before I met you guys, and that was like I swore off drinking for like 6 months after that time. So yeah, I remember that. That was before. Anyways, so my coworker, my colleague, we went out with like my boss. So this actually ties to my question earlier because this was the first time I saw this boss that was like, you know, a hard ass, like unwind. And this boss was like, yo, like feeding us drinks and like, you know, like for some, like I wasn't like, you know, like I would skip around, whatever. I don't know. I just managed. This coworker was done. Like couldn't like, because we went to like 3 different bars. By the time we were going to the last one, like I remember we would see him, like he would take a step, and then he'd take 1 step forward, 3 steps to the left, 1 step forward, 3 steps to the right.
So he was moving like a knight.
Yeah, he's like,
Oh my god.
It was hilarious.
It was like a cartoon.
Like, yeah, no, like I never seen anyone like drunk and walk like that before, right? It was like he was dancing. It was so funny. And he couldn't go home. Like I lived downtown. He didn't live downtown. And my boss was like, hey, like Delhampo, like, I don't think he can make it home. Like, can he stay? Like are you okay with him? I'm like, you know, don't even ask. Like I was already going to like
have him crash
on the couch and everything. So like it wasn't like bad. It was just like, dude, like the whole team was there, like, you know, everybody, and he was just like plastered, done, couldn't walk before we got to like, because the night still went on for like an hour after that. Like, you know what I mean? Like we went to another spot. We did not let him drink, obviously. He just had water. Yeah, and he didn't want to go either. He was like, no, I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay. So yeah, no, yeah. And you guys know him too, so like I'll remind him of the story like when we're all chilling.
Tell him to listen to the episode.
Oh
Yeah.
Because I was going to say we went to a networking event with a junior of yours.
Okay.
Like literally a few weeks back.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like super insanely poised. Like this guy was like, this guy was like, so like,
I mean, back then I was like, that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And like now he's my colleague, not a junior. Like he's newer, whatever. Yeah. I don't know if you're newer, does that make you a junior? Even though we have the same position.
Less senior, but like not necessarily junior in terms of position.
I just realized who the person you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's
and
crazy.
Like the person Luke we went out with, like he's a fucking like I think he drinks way more than me. I think he could probably withstand because he's a degenerate as well. And actually, we've gone like to a club together before, and yeah, no, he can hold his liquor.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Big guy too. So
big guy, yeah. He's like 6'4".
Yeah. It's always nice when you make new memories of coworkers drinking. I remember when this is like maybe a couple years ago when we were like merging with the U.S. team. We were like Team Canada. And we went out for an offsite in New York, and we all had budget, right? But like our team in Canada is so degenerate and so like close knit that we tried to save our budget for like a club night, you know? So we were like, oh, we can go out these 2 nights. Let's go have a really nice dinner. Instead of going out tomorrow, we'll use that budget and we'll go out tonight as well. Didn't work. Obviously, we ended up having to pay that out of pocket, but we invited some of the US guys over to party with us. And this was like Like my manager was there, my skip was there. We ended up getting booth and bottles. I remember I showed up slightly late, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting in line. It's not a big line, but I'm waiting outside to show my ID and get in. And these two girls in front of us, right? And they knew the bouncer, right? And whatever. And I was there with another buddy of mine, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like they're industry goals or whatever. Like they get into the clubs, and they join other folks at tables. They drink essentially for free, but they're there as like vibes."
Industry girls is hilarious, but makes all the sense.
Anyways, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool,
dystopian
whatever.
term, but
Did not think about it twice, right? So we get inside, I code check, I get in the elevator, I go upstairs, right? I go to our booth, I find like my manager and my skip there, and like all my coworkers there. Everyone's drinking, everyone's having a really good time. Guess who else I find at our booth? The industry girls that were in
Oh yeah, of course. No,
they
they're
were
always
coming to our table. They were dancing with our boss, all the US
Funny.
guys that had seen us for the first time. This is how Canada gets down. I remember we got a sign that says like Team Canada as well at the top, and they were like dancing around with it.
Let's go.
It was like one of those like New York rooftop bars. So definitely first impressions.
Had to feel good.
That felt good.
Had to
That
feel
felt real
good.
good. That felt real good.
I also actually just remembered, we didn't have one this year, but we had a boat party last year, and at the time there was two interns. Kind of like with all of our interns, it's like there's a decision at the end where like we may hire them, we may not. A lot of them are going back to school, so that's not even like a question.
Yep.
But there was, I think at the time we were looking for like a junior influencer coordinator position sort of thing. And I think one of them was in consideration, but this person at the boat party like drank so much. And you guys have been on a boat, like that boat was pretty sizable, but it has 2 bathrooms. So you can imagine what happens if one of those bathrooms now becomes out of commission for like the remainder of the party. It's like not great.
With the whole boat of people drinking too.
Yeah, a whole boat of people drinking. A lot of people not knowing what's happening in one of the bathrooms, so they're just drunk and angry. You know what I mean? So it became a whole thing. But
Intern not coming back.
yeah, I don't know if they were actually in consideration, but I'm like, I can't
Well,
imagine
they're definitely not anymore.
that situation helped.
I
Yeah.
have one more story. This is the last thing I can remember, just because like I just remembered it. We did a team event at the Broadview Hotel. You guys know where the Broadview Hotel is?
Yeah,
The
it's
east
like
end of Toronto. It's
Broadview
Broadview
and
and
Danforth. Or no, Queen.
Broadview and Queen.
Yeah.
Is it like one of those iconic Toronto? Like
It's
hotels?
close to the
Hotel.
Phoenix.
It's like it's at
down
the
the street.
It's at the bottom of Riverdale Park. Yeah,
Okay.
like a couple blocks down from
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah. It's literally Queen and Broadview. So
Like I'm trying to the music venues. The Phoenix, is it the Phoenix Theater that's on Queen?
I don't know actually.
I don't know.
thi-
Like, it
don't-
sounds familiar.
Like I'm like
Anyways,
me and you
whatever.
have gone there and gotten pizziololos. Like right.
There's a pizzaiolo like,
yeah,
right around
yeah,
there.
right around there.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Anyways, we ended up booking out like the rooftop. It's a nice boutique hotel. You can see the skyline of Toronto, everything like that. This was one of the first events I went to, like official company events, like after COVID, and that were like at an actual venue. So we go inside. We're eating. Some awards were given out. Our CRO came on and
Cool.
chatted with us and everything. It was honestly like kind of sweet. And then the drinking started after that. And our IT manager, I forget what his name. I think his name was like.
IT
I
man.
can't
Don't
remember
mention
it.
any
I can't
names,
remember what his
man.
name was. Honestly, like, I haven't seen him since that day. That's why I'm like, I don't really care if I say his name. He got so drunk
Yeah.
to the point of not being recognizable. I remember we were mosh pitting at one point, and a lot of songs came on, like they were playing Kanye West, all this sort of stuff. We were having a good time and all that. And I guess he just got really hyped during this one song. I think it was N-Words in Paris. I think that was the song he was getting hyped about. And this dude, mind you, he's like some 40-year-old guy, some 40-year-old like dude, and he gets so drunk, he's getting really into it. At one point, I'm like, looking at him nodding. I'm like, yeah, yeah. He, with all of his might, pushes me in the chest.
There we go.
Just shoves me. And I go back maybe like 10 feet, bro. I was trying not to fall. I had to pause for a second and pick my. Nobody else even reacted, which was the craziest thing. No one was
Yeah,
like,
because
"Hey,
we're
dude,
moshing,
chill,"
dude.
like,
We're moshing and we're drinking, we're jamming out. Are you fucking grow a pair?
It's a corporate mosh.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
No, a
one
mosh is a mosh,
No
alright?
one was doing that.
A mosh is a
No one was
mosh.
doing that.
Okay, Luke, what is your thoughts on the corporate mosh?
Yeah, I didn't. I'm more on the side that a mosh is a mosh, but
It's at the Broadview freaking hotel, by the
A
way.
mosh is a mosh.
It's like a banquet hall type shit. You know?
A
But I mean,
mosh is a mosh.
You do
there's like 5 people in this mosh, mind you.
A mosh is a mosh. That's the name of this episode.
I had never been. I had never been assaulted like that. I don't think ever.
A mosh is a mosh.
It was ridiculous.
Oh,
it was
geez.
ridiculous. And yeah, after that, honestly, never saw him again.
Yeah.
Never. I don't know if he had planned to leave and he just left. And he was like, "Let me go out on a bang." You know?
Arya felt like personally attacked.
I was personally attacked. I
A
absolutely was.
mosh is a mosh.
I was gonna say clearly, like you like this person has one on you.
This is a core memory. This is absolutely a core freaking memory.
You've been-
Okay.
Yeah, like you repressed this memory and it just like came to mind.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think another factor is you have a this is gonna sound so fucking dumb, but like you have a pride about your base. You mentioned your base many times, and I think like this guy shoving you 10 feet rocked that reality to the core.
This guy's like, what kind of strength? And it wasn't. He was kind of like out of shape too. You know.
A mosh is a mosh. Wait. Question, have you guys been in a mosh pit before?
Yes.
Okay, what was your feeling when you were in a mosh pit?
That was fine. I was like, I knew what I'm signing up for.
No, I said, what was your feeling? I didn't say whether it was fine.
Oh,
What
it was
was
exhilarating. I was like really young. It was. I did a few. I did Jazz Cartier and I did Joey Badass. He had a pretty good mosh for some reason. He had like
Okay.
a couple like crazy. But the Jazz Cartier one was actually nuts.
exhilarating?
Yeah, exhilarating. Very.
What about you?
exhilarating.
Have you been in a mosh?
I had a phase where every concert I would go to the mosh pit, and generally speaking, if it's a good mosh pit, the feeling you have is like I'm in danger.
Okay, that's exactly, and that's why with you, I'm like, yeah,
was
I went
exhilarating.
for the first and only mosh I went for was a Playboy Cardi mosh.
Oh,
and
that sounds like Chirac, bro.
And I was like,
Sign
I
up for
could
death,
die.
bro.
Like I was
No,
like, if I
that's-
end up on the
that's different.
floor, I might get stampeded because no one is gonna know.
You're getting injured. If
Like
you,
I was like,
Yeah,
I was scared. Like I was like, this is incredible because I saw it and I wanted to, and I got in and I was like scared for my life. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm not doing mosh pits are not for me. So that's why I'm like, a mosh is a mosh. If you're in a mosh pit and you're not fearful for your life, I don't know what you're doing.
This is
A
first of all,
mosh is
yeah.
a
This
mosh.
was still. I retained. This was the Broadview Hotel.
yeah. To be fair, the context of this is a Playboy Cardi concert. The set of precedents.
But that's why I'm saying a
probably would
mosh
not
is
go
a
to the
mosh.
I probably would not go to the mosh pit at a Playboy Cardi concert. We went to a Flatbush Zombies concert, and we actively avoided the mosh because we knew what that would be like.
that was a
right?
bit
A
aggressive.
mosh is a mosh.
Either way, I used
Sorry,
to go
Luke,
when I
get
was
us back
I
on
used to-
track.
no, I used to like moshes a lot.
Really?
I would go for every single concert. I would try to get into the mosh pit.
That
But
one-
that was when I was young. That was when I was young.
The
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs concert we went to with Peter. I think
you went into
you
the
were
mosh.
supposed to come, but yeah, I think you ended up not being able to come in, and Peter ended up taking
Did you
your
come with a
ticket.
torn shirt? I think he did.
You know, he took his shirt
I
off.
saw-
Like,
yeah, I took my
came
shirt
back
off
without
too.
a shirt.
Luke is too like you're actually legendary. Like
And dude, that mosh pit, there was a.
I don't know that. Sorry,
was
I don't
this-
know that anybody that works with you or has seen you in like a business context would picture this Asian guy
No, dude,
takes
it
his
was
shirt off.
It was like shirt off, a pearl necklace.
Oh god, that was the era.
Pearl
Yeah.
necklace Luke.
But
yeah.
yeah.
it was I remember.
Peter looked like disheveled, like just looking at. He's like, I don't want to do that. But he ended up doing it, but he looked disheveled. Like,
Yeah, Peter eventually ended up
Enjoyed it.
making his way. But there was this guy in the middle that was like just standing up and like going like,
Yeah, sounds
and
about
then
right.
he ends up decking this girl, and immediately these like 4 guys just fucking jump him.
Let's go.
Like immediately, I was like, "Oh, okay, it's time to leave." But
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. A mosh is a mosh. Drinking with coworkers can be proponent to interesting things.
Unbelievable.
But in our last 16 minutes here, I'm gonna get to the one thing I wanted to chat with you guys about, which is it's about Oracle.
Okay. Yeah, the company.
So,
Great rebrand.
what do you mean by
They're,
great?
they're like
Continue.
a 50-year-old company, and like they are basically.
And
like
now we're
a
talking about them.
They've come alive in the past like couple of years.
But keep going. Sorry.
Yes. So, I think like obviously like Larry Ellison, super influential entrepreneur of like our generation. I guess more so in the previous generation actually than the current one. As we know, like the kind of legacy companies, like there's been a few eras of legacy companies. Telecoms are one of those. ERPs is another one. And this is kind of like the space that Oracle and SAP and these guys like kind of play in. But Oracle, I kind of didn't really realize the reach of like, let's say the Ellison families. What's the word? Like their
Empire?
impact, their empire, right? So basically, as you guys saw, Larry Ellison is like I like he's going to be taking over TikTok. Like Oracle's going to be purchasing TikTok, I believe.
They're
They're
chill.
not like
They're part of
like
a
few different companies.
consortium of people. Like we need to chill out. Like they are like, and let's Google.
Oracle's not buying.
They're
TikTok.
not buying
they
TikTok.
Are part of the team that's buying.
Yeah,
TikTok.
they will
part
own
of a-
stock
yeah.
like many other people
Yeah.
like that. Like you get what I mean? Well, not many other people.
In fairness to Luke's point, they are one of the. There's like 3 or 4 major like companies that are going to be taking the brunt share of that 80%. That's American, but yeah, Anyways, continue.
Yes. So I think the main kind of discussion here is obviously Oracle's stock surged very recently. But this surge actually happened during a very bad financial period for Oracle. They missed estimates in terms of financials. So, this is basically due to the potential PAC acquisition of TikTok, etc. Another big reason is because Oracle is investing several $billion into building these data centers, which is going to power a lot of these kind of products natively within the US soil. So there's a few talking points here.
They also signed a $300 billion agreement with OpenAI.
Yes. So the kind of few like kind of discussions here is like one, there's like the kind of this bubble economics where basically Oracle's like 455 billion backlog is like a circle, right? It's OpenAI who is paying NVIDIA, which is getting business from Oracle, and Oracle, which is paying OpenAI, right? So it's straight up a triangle, 3 big parties basically paying each other, 455 billion being exchanged between these 3 companies, right? So that's aspect 1. Aspect 2, David Ellison controls Skydance. So Skydance controls Paramount. They're currently in a merger with Warner Brothers. So if that goes through, this will kind of create one of the biggest legacy traditional media companies of our modern era, right? So the question kind of becomes the 2 aspects. One, there's like the bubble aspect, but then the second aspect of a family, basically one controlling infrastructure, technology, traditional media, and quote unquote new media. If like they become like they have a controlling power in TikTok going through. And I think the main thing that's being thrown around is this is kind of like a Rupert Murdoch plus Zuckerberg, but instead of that, it's just all in one family. So that's kind of like, I feel like, and then the other thing I also wanted to bring up is this seems to be very in the background. Like not many people are talking about Larry Ellison, you know what I mean? Or the Ellison family. This isn't like like OpenAI is in the news every single day. Like even like Jensen, like he's still being talked about actively, but like this guy's like kind of a core piece in this family is like a core piece in all of this. And they have like a ton of leverage. So basically like the memes are saying like, oh, is this the true shadow hand in the US? Like the guys that control the technological infrastructure, the data infrastructure, already control some traditional media, and then now they're buying into the new legacy media. So thoughts, questions?
It's like if Logan Roy was a real person.
No, I think like that's what this was like. Is this Succession? Like
I don't know. Like to that first piece about the money, like
The triangle?
I mean, whatever. I mean, to be honest, that's it's a scaled version of how the economy works, right? It's like inputs and outputs. I don't really see anything too alarming about that, right? That seems pretty commonplace and pretty standard, right? Like you buy something, you sell something, your value goes up. Like the what people were saying about that specifically was Larry Ellison does not have the resources to give OpenAI what they're buying for $300 billion.
Yeah.
This is like a 10-year contract, whatever it is,
Yeah.
right? And for a brief moment in time, Larry Ellison became the richest person in the world.
Yep.
But that's not the case anymore, right? So it's like that money that he gets from that stock valuation going up is not going to directly translate into paying Nvidia for these GPUs and then being able to service what OpenAI wants, right? Like there's still an ecosystem, a supply chain that's going to be followed, and there are unit economics that I haven't reviewed myself personally, right? But I'm more than certain that they're there, because I just think that this is how the economy functions, right? Like you get an input from somewhere and you give an output to somewhere else, right? So I don't know. I saw that made a lot of buzz, but I'm just not on the hype train for that, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we should absolutely pull up the news article, because I think Larry Ellison is absolutely all over the news. The only reason why we're talking about it. So I don't think he's in the shadows. I think he's fully out there.
I think it's a recent, right? Like he definitely,
and then
definitely
that's why when he brought up Oracle, I was like, yeah, great rebrand, right? Because they're to the first point, like with the bubble economics, it's absolutely fishy. It's financial engineering at its finest. I believe what's happening is it's actually OpenAI that doesn't have $300 billion to pay Oracle, but to buy NVIDIA chips. But it's like OpenAI makes a $300 million commitment, and then Oracle and NVIDIA invest $100 billion in OpenAI.
Yep, to then buy the chips.
So it's like, is the investment like to give them money to be able to pay you to buy it? And that's kind of the round tripping that you're talking about, and similar to NVIDIA. And like, it does happen, and like it is like legal, like, you know what I mean? Like, again, these are just like agreements. Like, I don't know. We don't know that anything is signed. We don't know that $300 billion is being spent. This is kind of like everybody's like taking a page out of DJT, where he's announcing like $950 billion, like, investments, and like nothing's been signed, no agreement's been ratified. Like, it's just like an announcement to make, stocks go up. And so like in that sense, like, it's financial engineering. It's, accountants and like, investors kind of like, reading headlines and like acting based off of that. So like, like that's what that is. And I don't know that it's legal, but yes, like, it is bubble economics.
Yep.
With the David Ellison Skydance Paramount takeover, and I don't know, they've already taken over Paramount. Like, I don't know if they've put in a bid for Warner Brothers. That was just like a rumor, and I'm happy to be wrong. We can pull up the article.
It is a rumor.
Yeah, it's a rumor. So they haven't put in the bid, right? So like they only own Paramount right now, and like, like, yes, it's insane. Like, Ellison himself like was already worth like a couple $100 billion. Okay, and
he wasn't nothing.
Yeah, he wasn't nothing.
Yeah,
and like, if we're being completely honest, like him taking on Paramount, like, yes, there's a lot of value, but he's saddling himself up with a lot of debt. But I think the more important thing is, it's like people are like, oh, this conservative leaning person is gonna own a significant amount of media, even though Murdoch is already like, like owning media, like, and like people are like, oh yeah, the liberals owned media in the past, and now the conservatives are. And like, there's that, and then like, there's also this like old like Oracle plus Paramount. Like, it makes an empire where it's like, oh, you have this, and then you also own like, the mouthpiece. But like, Elon does the exact same thing with like owning X, and Bezos does the exact same thing with owning the WSJ. Post, yeah. Like, so it's like, I don't know how big a deal it is. Like, you get what I mean? Again, he's just in the media right now with the TikTok stuff, with the, you get what I mean? With the, so he's getting more airtime than he's ever gotten. Like, I remember like growing up, you're right, he's like the entrepreneur of the era before us, because all I heard about Ellison was his obsession with Japanese culture, and like I'd see pictures of him in like a samurai suit with a samurai sword. Like, that was the only thing I knew about him, and I knew he was super rich.
Let's keep him. He's like 82
he's
years
81,
old.
Yeah.
He is like, how old is Oracle? Maybe you can look that up. I think it's at least 50 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
He's the co-founder
Yeah.
and still the CEO.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, he's not the CEO.
Is he not?
No. He's just the chairman.
The chairman. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's still involved.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like at
he's-
this age,
He's still the face. Yeah.
he's
a little
still
bit.
the face
Yeah.
of Oracle, right?
48
So
years.
to be
48, yeah.
to be that, to do that, like you need to remain relevant somehow. Like you said, this is his flavor of the 20s.
Yeah,
right?
of the 20s.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, he's like, okay, like media. Let's do a media and AI. Like that's all you need.
Dude, Larry Ellison is the chief technology officer.
Yeah, he's the CTO. Like he works.
he's
you
still
know
the
what I mean?
CTO now?
Oracle, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but all of this to say, like, the deep, dark meme world, like, shut up. Like, there's like 3 or 4, like, this is kind of like the billionaire playbook. It's like you have the thing that, you know, makes you rich, and then you go into media to kind of try and control your perception, right? You get what I mean? Or the perception of who you are. So, like, I don't know that it's deeper and darker. I guess the bubble economics one, probably a little bit more important. I think it'll be very interesting to see. But the other thing too is whatever David Ellison has planned for Paramount, and you know, if the rumor is true and he does acquire Warner Brothers, like I think it'll be very interesting to see how like a technology company buys
Infrastructure company.
Yeah, well, Oracle is actually a software company, and
Yeah.
and they have now like transformed into a little bit of doing hardware, but Oracle is a
You call it
software.
digital infrastructure, anyways.
Yeah, well, yeah, all of that to say, whatever, infrastructure, software, technology, all in all. I'm just gonna say like technology going into Hollywood. Like I heard Prof G say like, oh, NorCal meets SoCal, like Silicon Valley meets Hollywood kind of thing. I think it'll be interesting to see like how his take on technology in the movies and like you know all of that. Like yeah, but like I don't know that he's gonna succeed. Honestly,
We were
Like,
talking
you know,
about this
so-
the other day, actually, when we were in MEC. If you guys remember, we were talking about like what's a bigger influence, tech or media, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is going to be a business case for
This
that,
is
right?
both.
This is what we're going to see is the result of whatever happens here is going to help answer that debate a little bit, right?
It is interesting, even when you think from like a technological perspective, like the user base of TikTok and the technology of TikTok and like how that might apply to Oracle. You know what I mean? There is a lot of implications there. Like
So by the way, like
they don't get the algorithm. I know
they
that.
don't like
yeah.
and like Oracle has housed TikTok's US data for like years now.
yeah.
Right? So TikTok has been Oracle's like one of Oracle's biggest customers like for the past like 3 to 4 years. Yeah, like, you Google this like so this is not new information.
Wait, I thought they were building new data centers partially to house additional data for TikTok, though.
Yeah, they probably might be, but like
Part of the
if they're but if it's
architecture.
I'm saying it's gonna be additional. Like this,
Yeah,
like
okay.
they've already like been like housing all of the U.S. TikTok's data because like this is not the first time like TikTok has almost gone banned. This might be the second or third time,
This
right?
is the second.
Yeah, it's the second. Like this happened during the Biden administration,
Yep.
and the agreement was that Oracle would house U.S. TikTok data. So this was about 2-3
You're
years
right.
ago. Yeah,
You're right.
so Oracle has had it, and like the acquisition or these talks to where Oracle, like I think they're just getting a stake because it's like, oh, lower our bill and give us a like yeah, man. That's why I'm like they don't own it, but because they house all the data, that's why I guess the rumor mill is like, oh, Oracle's taking over, but they're not.
They're
But
just
all-
one of the biggest names on that list of many companies.
Yes, on
right?
that many companies. So all of this to say, like, I don't know. Obviously, when you become an owner versus a customer, like I don't know how that or like I don't know how that relationship changes. But I think like the relationship is just basically like helping TikTok store all their data, like you know, in the data centers. But yeah, like
I
again,
mean,
it'll
even as a
evolve.
parent company, right? You have agreements between you and your subs.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the relationship.
Yeah,
nothing fundamentally changes with the way Oracle is interacting with TikTok, right?
At least not yet. Maybe when the deal's finalized, maybe it will. But like,
Maybe. Like it'll change in the sense that they'll process more data, right?
Yeah,
Not less. You
yeah.
know? So
and again to our argument because we're talking tech and media, like. First off, is Oracle like I don't know that Oracle is like the biggest. I don't think Oracle is like a top 10 like big tech company in the world, by the way. I don't think so. Like I doubt it.
Really?
Yeah,
by
like
market
check
cap-
it. We
by-
can
by
check.
by
Market cap,
you
like
mean?
you can check it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
Luke can look it up.
trillion,
You
there's
make your
trillion.
point, Luke will look it up.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So but Oracle just bought the biggest media company in the world. Or like the owner of or he wants to put in a bid for Warner
This
Brothers.
is by revenue.
Like literally, like just to our argument of like tech, like
I know what you
and
mean.
we were talking influence,
Yeah.
but like just to say, so like I know there is a nuance there, but like
There's a reason there's a rumor that he's gonna put that bid in.
Oracle is exactly number 10.
oh, so number 10, okay, so it's like the 10th, and I'm just like they're about to buy and check Warner Brothers is like top 3. I think it's the 3rd biggest media company like in the U.S. at least.
In the
Like
US
there's
or
the
the
big
world?
3. No, I think in the U.S. I don't know about
What
the
did Luke
world.
search? Did Luke search
Yeah.
the world for Oracle, or did he
Yeah.
search the U.S.?
Did you
The world.
The world?
The world.
Okay,
So
so
just do it for the world.
okay, dude, yeah, biggest
Keep
company.
going.
But all of this to
I
say,
don't know
like,
if Warner would be the top 3 in the world though, because
Right.
then you China and like India.
yeah,
comes to
check
play.
it. Well,
Just-
check
yeah,
it. Just
keep
check
making
it.
your point.
Yeah,
Leave it
but
alone.
like my whole plan is like, and like he's gonna buy like like he can put in a bid for Warner Brothers, and it's like what? It's like 20-30% of like, you get what I mean? His personal net worth, not even
Oh
the
my
market
god!
cap.
Do you want to? Well, I guess this is a media company. Like,
What?
do you think they listed as number 1?
Like Meta,
Apple.
Media?
Apple.
Apple?
Okay.
Okay, so let's
Alright,
eliminate
alright.
Apple. Number 1 without Apple is actually Netflix.
Okay.
Then it's
yeah.
Walt Disney.
Okay.
So Netflix, that's the
Netflix is
perfect,
huge.
yeah.
the perfect like ideology of combined media
Yeah, and tech,
right?
ideally,
it's
yeah.
That's
like,
probably why it's
So
number one.
yeah, well, what is
number
Netflix,
4
Disney?
is Comcast.
Okay.
Right.
Then AT&T, Sony, Charter Communications.
Wow, really?
Which is Time Warner.
Time
is-
Warner.
So Time Warner is at number 8.
Okay.
So not far off.
So enough, but like just saying like the 10th.
I want to know market cap. Is really that's more important,
What's,
right?
yeah, the
Like,
market cap for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, like, just-
443.0 billion.
Warner
05.
Brothers is
43
43 billion.
43 billion, yeah.
And what's Oracle right now?
400 and something
Yeah.
billion.
Okay.
So it's like
Yeah.
10%. And
Yeah.
like Larry Ellison is worth 200 billion.
No,
like
market
you said.
cap for Oracle is 1.15 trillion.
Okay, I'm tripping. Like, so like, and Larry Ellison, what's his net worth? Is it 200? Like,
So basically, you're
this is
saying
depressing
Larry
numbers.
Ellison is worth 4 times the amount of
like
Warner?
the media companies. Yeah, like that was kind of where I was coming to with like,
Dude,
like
343 billion.
what? That's Larry Ellison? What? That was like 200. I'm like 200 billion. You're like,
by 100 million.
which is insane.
Okay, you're right. Well, I take back our entire conversation
What are we
on
talking
Saturday.
about?
You're 100% correct. Media cannot touch tech.
Like, cannot. Like, I don't
At
think
all.
so. And like, at least, but like, I think Arya, we were talking influence.
We were talking influence.
And that's a nuance.
We're
And,
talking
and
about
yeah.
importance and like what it represents. Like the reason why Ellison wants to buy Time Warner, or rumored, right? Like I'm not going to assume anything. Is like you said earlier, he
This-
wants to control his image.
that's-
Yeah.
There's a perception you
Wow.
want to control, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No, and it's one of those things where it's like no matter how big you are, this is still a really crucial piece
Yeah.
to maintain your power
Yeah.
and your wealth, right? Like
Absolutely.
it's so critical that he will, I will go spend a cool like 40 billion to get this done. You know what I mean? Because that's not nothing either.
No,
right?
I totally agree, but I guess that's what I was saying, where we're starting to now
Yeah.
see the beginning of where tech is
Eating
controlling
media.
The
because like
intersection.
yeah, it's like no, like controlling, not even the intersecting. They're like no, we will,
Yeah.
because it's like Bezos firing like what the Wall Street Washington Post.
Yeah.
Because of like like, hey, I don't want you guys with your bias like talking about the election, so if you can't cover this objectively, you're all gone.
Yeah.
And like Elon coming in with X and Twitter and literally firing like 50% of the or 30% of the company.
The company runs exactly the same.
The same.
Like,
So
yeah.
like that's literally exerting influence and power on these. And I don't know that it's good. Like
Yeah.
Walt Disney might be the only one that can stand on its own.
Yeah.
You know what I
Disney's a
mean?
monster.
Yeah, and like it's so funny. Like I say, Walt Disney is the only one that can stand on his own. There's been a lot of rumors about Apple buying. Well, there's
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of
say,
rumors about
Like,
Apple
them
buying
buying
everybody.
steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point,
Yeah,
I've heard Apple's
yeah.
going to buy every company.
Yeah,
in the world.
Tesla.
By the way,
Walt
Apple
Disney.
being number 1 on this list, number 2, Netflix's cap is 290 billion. Apple is 3.22
Trillion.
trillion.
Yeah. Like Apple is like
can you buy every
Apple can buy
single
everyone on this list.
every single other media company in this list and not break a sweat.
Yeah, Apple being a media company is actually a hack. Because like, if Apple's a media company, why isn't Amazon a media company?
Well,
right?
The only reason I think Apple is put on this list is because of recent like Apple TV productions.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
So then
they
why
haven't-
isn't Amazon
Yeah.
there?
By the way,
Why
in
isn't
the largest tech companies in the world, Apple is number
Yeah,
3.
because like Prime probably has a bigger studio and a bigger like movie business than Apple.
You think?
Yeah.
I think Apple makes some pretty like big budget films.
No, in terms of scale, I think Prime has to be bigger.
Prime has been operating for longer.
Yeah,
has to
but
be
yeah,
there.
that's
Apple
all
goes,
there.
Apple has more of like an HBO business model where I
Yeah.
think they go after like
super
quality
select
and not, like,
niche.
quantity.
I think
but
like
yeah.
at Prime just boom boom like
Crazy.
Prime has like a whole like Amazon Prime is one of the legs of the Nigerian movie industry. Nigerian movie industry is the second largest movie industry in the world, by the way.
Hollywood.
Yeah, Nollywood. And like Prime and Netflix. And I think Netflix was investing, but they're scaling back. And Prime is just like there's
Oh
like a
my
whole Nigerian
God.
section of Prime. So that's why I'm like, why isn't Amazon on that list? Why are they putting Apple and cheating?
Elon is worth so much money.
Yeah, I
That's
heard he crossed
crazy.
500 today.
That's
So,
so
500
crazy,
billion
dude.
today?
Yeah.
What's going on with
Right
this
here,
guy?
the exact
What are we doing here?
the exact live tracking on Forbes says he's at 499.19.
Check BBI, like Bloomberg's billionaire index. That's the most accurate. Like if you check that one, that's probably what's going to show. But like all of this to say, yes, media is eating tech, and it's going to be interesting to see how that relationship evolves.
Yeah.
Like, you know, going forward, and like back to Luke's broader point about like, you know, Ellison.
Yep.
The round tripping of the money with the OpenAI and the NVIDIA is going to be very, very interesting to watch.
We'll
I
see
feel
what
like,
happens.
you know, they're approaching like JP Morgan territory and shit, where if there's a crash, like OpenAI is going to be propped up by the government. Like, I think they're like OpenAI and NVIDIA and Oracle might be the new systematically important, like, you know, companies.
I think this systematic exchange of money is not a new concept in our society.
No, I don't think so
That's
either.
why I'm also like, again, I'm not losing sleep over this.
Yeah, but it's just the like these are hundreds. Like there has never been like, I don't know, at least since I've been in like alive, and you know, it's not that long, but just people just throwing around billions.
Yeah.
Like hundreds. We've crossed the point where like 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion for a company is actually not that big a deal anymore. Where it's not like AI companies raising hundreds of billions. Like I was reading an article yesterday, and a startup is raising a Series B, like at billions of dollars. I'm like, what happens to the Series Bs at 50 million? Like, you get what I mean? When did
50 million being a big deal.
like a big deal, like a $50 million valuation, and it's like we've just crossed the Rubicon, like to the point where it's like you're a startup and you're raising a Series B,
We're in
Series C.
inflated territory, but also let's keep in mind as well, like these startups doing $1 billion in the Series B is few and far between, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not seeing too
Fair.
many of
But
them.
like,
It's
you know,
very-
it
it is
was
rare.
just they were non-existent literally like 5 years ago.
Just
Absolutely.
economies of scale, man. It's like the same shit of us like being like, oh, okay, like, oh, I used to be able to walk into a convenience store with $1 and get two bags
know?
of chips and 7 sweets. You know what I mean? It's just like it happens.
It's the same concept. Like I'll put a lot. Like there is definitely a piece of this that scale, right? Like private equity is kind of getting railed right now, actually.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, dude,
we've seen the buildup of private equity over the past like
Yeah.
10 years, let's say, right? And like they are where they are today because of deals like this, right? And then also because of us printing so much money, we're at a point where now billions of dollars make it seem like it's really nothing.
It's
right?
insane.
So it's a little hand in hand. I wouldn't put it all on just like, you know, financial manipulation. Like there's definitely like a big piece of this that's inflation, but it's not the whole story. I agree.
Luke, what was your final?
No, my final answer to
what was
why.
Elon's latest number?
Oh, it's actually on Bloomberg. It's actually lower than
Oh, okay.
other
Okay.
thing. It says 470 billion. On
Okay,
Bloomberg.
470. That's
But,
good.
uh,
That's
$500
good.
billion.
That's
God
good.
damn.
But that's
good.
To
Yeah.
close on the $1 billion in round B, I'm gonna just say a mosh is a mosh.
A mosh is a
A mosh
mosh.
is a mosh, and I wanted to end this off with another crazy stat about Larry Ellison
Go.
that I just found out while you guys are talking. As you know, this is an 81-year-old man.
Yeah.
He has had 5 marriages.
Oh yeah, the latest is how old? 30.
Jolene Karen Zhu. I actually don't know how old she is.
Oh, yeah.
But the crazy thing about this is I'm looking through these. Most of these marriages lasted between 5 to 12 years.
Wow.
So he's like,
He's optimizing.
he's lived like a full ass life, man.
Yeah.
Like a full ass life, 2 kids, 5 wives.
2 kids only.
Yeah, that's the.
It's a daughter and a son.
Dude, this guy's like an anomaly. Like this, like he's
should
breaking.
have-
He's breaking all the stats.
He
Like,
definitely, I'll put money on it. He definitely has like kids we don't know about.
oh,
for
like
sure.
okay,
For
yeah.
sure.
I wouldn't. I
Maybe
wouldn't put it- I
He was
wouldn't
also
put it past
apparently raised a Reformed Jew, but at the age of 13, he said to his parents, "While I think I am religious in one sense, the peculiar dogmas of Judaism are not dogmas I subscribe to. I do not believe they're real. They're interesting stories. They're interesting mythology, and I respect people who believe they are literally true, but I don't."
So he's,
At
so
13.
he's just agnostic.
That's what it says on Wikipedia.
At 13, that might be some bullshit. But no, like what I got.
Yeah, I mean, probably is.
Oh, come on. At 13, using the word dogmas, maybe I'm just dumb also. Like, I wouldn't put that
I
past.
mean, dude,
man, like to be
you're
a
not.
billionaire.
You're currently not on track to have 5 wives. So
No,
you know,
no,
maybe-
I'm not.
maybe
Are
that's
you on
why-
track to have like $343 billion as well? So-
I hope I'm on track to have, like, you know, I'm going to say a couple $100K in savings. So, like, let's
I
just
was gonna
start
say
with that.
I'm not that greedy. I think I'm okay with like 0.001% of that.
Yeah, no, literally.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another exhilarating conversation regarding mosh pits and money. So, thank you for tuning in, and until next time, one love.
Mosh is a mosh.
Mwah.
Peace.